Hey, welcome back to the Samuel and Amanda Show. I'm Samuel.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're going to be talking about money, marriage, and life. So, what have you been up to this week?
This week's been a good week. I've been potty training Ruby, and that's been a success.
Although she kind of got to an age whereby she's so old now that to potty train her, you can kind of just go, from now on, Ruby, you want to use the potty? And she's like, all right.
Yeah, I know, she took to it so well. So yeah, I think she's definitely old enough. I feel like maybe because she's our first, I kind of babied her a bit more.
Yeah.
So I didn't realise that she actually probably could have started a bit sooner than she has. She's 3 years old.
So that's your week, an entire week, potty training?
I mean, yeah, and then I've just been doing like boring stuff like admin, sorting out gas stations.
What about when you sorted out all that property stuff for the property?
Oh my gosh. So yesterday I was going through a legal pack for a property that we were buying, and Samuel hadn't told me that we actually weren't going ahead with it, and I literally went through everything. I'd written down my queries for anything that I wanted to ask the solicitor, only for Samuel to say, after I said, oh, I need you to sign a few bits.
And I was just like, oh yeah, that house, we
By
actually
the way.
that. So sorry about that. Basically, Amanda deals with not only the property management and overseeing, but also all the sales progression side of things.
Yeah.
So great. Today I have been with Ricky, who is an incredible guy. We've been hanging out, and also I've just been giving him some tips on a lot of our students that become financially free. They think when they become financially free, they just want to lie on a beach. You know, they do that. They think, oh, when I become financially free, I'm going to lie on a beach and just chill out and do nothing. But actually, when they become financially free, they want to set up charities. They want to become a trainer, and that's Ricky. He's a trainer. He's one of our trainers, and yes, I've been spending some time with him. He's amazing, isn't he?
He is.
And also, we are looking to rent another house in Buckinghamshire. You know, we do rent a few houses because it's nice to kind of house hop a little bit. House hop a little bit. In fact, that's one of the big advantages to renting. I feel like, honestly, like being able to just move house easily is just great. And also the rent that we pay on our big houses. I was gonna say mansions, but that sounded a little bit.
On our
mansions. They'll be. I don't know what the actual definition of a mansion is. I'm not quite sure, but. Are we in a mansion?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's a big...
I would have definitely called it a mansion when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But who knows what a mansion is? I think there's different definitions depending on who you're speaking to. But anyway, so we are... Yeah, I just went on a little walk, literally down the road from here, with Ricky. But I didn't tell Ricky that we were going to be doing house viewing. I just said, we're going to walk. And then we ended up going to this beautiful big house. Ricky's like, oh my goodness. So, yeah, we'll see. We might rent it, do some business, and... yeah, I mean the rent's so cheap, so that's what I've been doing.
Nice, sounds like a good.
So we had lots of questions from the guys. So from you guys, and by the way, if you hang on, where's my phone? It's on the floor. If you would like to hear like behind the scenes, inside life, what's what, just comment on this channel. You know, if you want to learn about like, in-depth property niche things, then you can check out tomorrow's video Q&A Sunday. Okay, so someone said.
Questions then?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it then.
Okay.
Awesome.
Someone said, I love Amanda Leeds' accent.
Oh.
So tell me about your accent.
Thank you. My accent, I'm from Leeds. So originally Zimbabwe, moved to Leeds when I was 10 years old, and then I guess that's my accent.
It was one of the things that actually kind of hooked me when we first met. You know, you looked when we first met very Zimbabwean. Right?
I mean,
you had really short hair.
Okay.
You were in our such a little thing. You just looked very. It was an African wedding.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But then when we spoke and you had a really strong Yorkshire accent, it was just like
what?
It didn't look like it was supposed to come out of your mouth. I was like, oh, well, at first it's quite strange. Now, of course, very, very used to it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Yorkshire accent. Moved to England when you were 10.
Yeah.
What do you think? I was talking to Marvin about this morning.
Go on.
When you move to an area, like I know people that moved to America when they were 15, and now they're like in their 20s, but they've got an American accent. I'm like, come on, you moved there when you were 15.
I don't know. I think it's natural to catch a bit of a.
But then I know other people that moved to England when they were like 6 from America, and they've still got an American accent.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know.
Did you choose to have a Yorkshire accent? Did you kind of lean into it and go, I like this?
No.
I bet you did.
No, I really didn't. I don't think you can make a conscious
You can, because you can kind of like lean into it, or you can think.
I feel like you can lean into whether you want to, like how you speak. So if you want to sound like a bit of a, I was going to say chav. If you want to sound a bit like, I don't know. I think you can choose how you want to speak, but I don't think you can choose your accent.
When I grew up, I mean, my accent, I'm from the Midlands, so I might have a Midlands twang.
I don't feel like you do, but go on.
But when I grew up at school, a lot of people that I was around, my friends, that, you know, they spoke like this, really slow and had an accent. They did, and I didn't like the accent, and I made a deliberate effort. I was like, I don't want to speak like that.
Wow, interesting.
And that was where I was from. I grew up in, you know, Warsaw, Wolverhampton, and I'm not saying that I'm well spoken. I'm not well spoken, but I definitely don't sound like I'm from Birmingham like this bad. You know, it's just like, sounds like you got something in your mouth. And even as a kid, even though everybody around me spoke like that, I was just like, nope.
That's interesting because I don't really think about things like that. So for me, it's just my accent's just happy.
But when you moved to Yorkshire, you must have noticed that suddenly, instead of people saying no, they were saying no.
No, because the thing is, because when I moved from Zimbabwe, it was like, everything was different. So it wasn't that.
But you leaned into it.
I mean, maybe you can say that, but I don't think.
So like, is your Yorkshire accent, would you say, it's like a little bit of a put-on accent?
No, it's not, because it's not because that's just how I speak. And I can't speak any other way unless I do an American accent, which is like, oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that very often.
I think I'm very good at an American accent.
Yeah, okay. All right, next. Sam Haig says, tell us about your Christian faith. Sometimes how that influences your approach to business.
You want to answer first, or do you want me to answer?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've always been very open about it. It's funny because the more and more well-known I've been getting, how often do I get told by our advisors, our solicitors, our business consultants, everybody says, don't talk about your faith, right?
Yeah.
Constant. That's all I've heard for the last 4 years. They also say don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion, off the table. Yeah. I've never found, like, for me, I don't know, I think people say that because if you talk about your faith, you might alienate people that are of a different faith or who are of no faith. But do you think you can do it in an alienating way? Like, for me, my faith is everything, okay? You can check out my books and YouTube videos where I talk about, I started my business, I became a Christian when I was 16, got plugged into a local church. My church sent me off on a trip to Zambia, which is right next to the best country in Africa, Zimbabwe. And you know, it was actually that trip where I saw young kids that didn't have clean drinking water, and I'm just thinking, man, if I ever become wealthy, I'm going to set up a charity and I'm going to bring clean water to this village. And it was kind of like really my faith, my purpose, why I set my business up. I didn't set it up just for the sake of it. And then as I started making money, we set up you came out with me on one of our early trips in 2014, 2015, sort of like 6-7 years ago, just as we first got together. And you know, so my faith is a fundamental foundation to everything that I do. I'm not afraid to talk about it. Politics, sometimes I wonder whether I shouldn't.
Personally, I think you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think that,
Oh, by the way, just for the record, I'm not super political anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like really into politics, but go on, why do you think you should talk about politics?
I think religion's different, because the way you do it, for example, doesn't force it onto anyone. You just sort of share your faith and, you know, what it means to you.
Yeah, people ask me, I'm open about it.
Yeah, but I think when it gets political, I think it's just a bit too contentious because people are different, and I don't know, I just feel like it's just something that, unless you're a politician and in that line, I don't think anyone really needs to speak out about it. But
the problem with talking about politics is that people can misunderstand. Sometimes I have to talk about politics.
Yeah.
Like my recent debate on the rent control. It is a political issue, but it's also completely an economic issue as well.
Okay.
like rent control in London. Rent control. That's about property. I have to have an opinion. I can't just say nothing on it.
Yeah.
People are asking me about it. What do you think? I have to say, I don't think it's a good idea. Here's why it's not a good idea. And I talk about it. It is political.
Okay, so maybe I think it's when, so if it's like political and it's kind of linked to property, fair enough. But I think if it's just something that's totally unrelated and something that might actually cause a stir unnecessarily, where it's like you really don't need to speak on it publicly, then I think then, you know, it's kind of like just stay in your lane type thing, I think.
I don't know if I agree with stay in your lane. Stay in your lane can keep people pigeonholed.
Yeah.
And it's a really tough one. I mean, something that my pastor says to me, Gary Spicer, is he says, don't die on the wrong mountain. So what that means is, if something's like really important to you, you're like, I have to talk about this. This issue for me is so important, it's so big. If I die on this mountain, I'll happily die on this mountain. Because this is fine. But don't die climbing mountains that you don't need to be climbing.
Yeah.
You know? So in other words, if you talk about politics, religion, whatever, you might die. You know, they're going to come for you, right? Yeah. They're going to come for you, whether that be the media, whether that be the trolls. They're going to come for you and they might finish you off. So if you just talk about something that's not really even that deep, it's not that important, it's not that linked, you're not that passionate about it, but you just have an opinion and you just start shouting your mouth off about it, and then you die as a result, or your career dies. It's like, why did I die on that mountain? Yeah. Whereas some things are really important, but I also think the reason that you might die on the mountain, because it's crazy that we do get killed talking about, and I'm not talking literally, although sometimes you do die literally, but it's crazy that people do come after you, the media and whoever, because my opinion is, let's just agree to disagree. Let's debate, let's discuss, let's talk about politics, religion. That's how we grow. Let's talk about economics, but let's learn from one another. And most people are actually good people. So it's a lot of misunderstandings going on, like the rent control thing. I'll say, rents should not be capped. People assume what I mean by that is, stuff the tenants.
Yeah.
I'm not saying stuff the tenants. So it's almost like there's a lot of things that I could say about politics. I could share my opinion, but people would misunderstand my actual heart intent.
I think that's the thing. So if someone knows you personally and you say something, we know where you're coming from. But if they don't know you personally, when you're like so well known, then that's where it can cause issues, I think. So. But
religion is something, my faith is something that I always talk about, because it's, I'll die on that mountain. If I get persecuted, and I have, you know, Joe Lycett took the mick out of me like crazy. A lot of people have been really badly persecuted, right? Because of my faith, but I don't really care. I'm just like, whatever. It's a mountain that I'll happily die on, but there's some things that Amanda won't let me talk about.
Yeah, there is. What was the question? Did we actually answer it? Yeah. Tell
us about your Christian faith sometimes and how that influences your approach to business. Kind of. I think we just ended up talking. Anyway, what do you think though?
Yeah.
Like, because honestly, part of me does sometimes think I'd be better off to just talk freely and openly about whatever I want to talk about. She doesn't agree.
I don't agree.
She doesn't agree.
I think there's a time and a place.
People are going to be interested. By the way, it's not like there's anything in particular that I'm like itching to say right now.
No.
I'm just talking about in general. Like if something happens in the news, if someone becomes a prime minister, things are going to... I obviously have an opinion on it, right? I'm studying, I'm looking, I'm watching. But then often I won't talk about it just because, you know, I don't want to die on the wrong mountain. I don't want to get in trouble with Mrs. Leeds. Okay, next. Amanda, how do you overcome procrastination? I'm sure we had that question before.
I'm not sure if we have.
Okay, well go ahead. How do you overcome procrastination?
I don't know, I just do it. 'Cause procrastinating just wastes time.
Or do you not have a problem with it because you just enjoy getting procrastinated? Is that how you live your life? Being procrastinated? No, I'm just kidding. You are a you get stuff done.
Just do it.
Like you do get stuff done. You're quite quick at getting stuff done.
Yeah.
Do you not have, when you've got to get something done, like let's say we're buying a property, you've got to get sales progression, which takes forever, and you've got a lot of bum stuff that needs to get done. Do you not find that you get like those ping messages and things happening? How do you deal with that? Have you got a technique that you could share?
Well, I don't know, I just do a list, like I said last time. So we kind of answered it before. Just do a list and then just prioritize and then just do it. And sometimes I do like, if there's something that I really don't want to do, I just kind of do that first and then it's just out of the way.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's just like a black cloud that's just following you everywhere, and I hate that feeling.
So do I ever experience it, procrastination? I actually do sometimes. I had a real severe dose of procrastination the last few days. Oh man.
Go on,
it was really
I wasn't even
bad.
aware of this. Go on.
It was really bad. Normally, things that I would... Okay, if I'm procrastinated, if I've got to do this, but I keep doing all the other things, it's because I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Normally, if I don't want to do this, I just outsource it.
Yeah.
Right? I just pass it to somebody else to do and say, oh, this... I think if you're not doing what you love doing, it's probably because you're not meant to be doing it. Not always, most of the time. However, I'll tell you the story. I didn't tell you this because I almost passed it to you or someone, but no one would have been able to do it.
Uh-oh.
So what happened was, I ordered some books. I had some books ordered for the 30 Success students.
Yeah.
I told the 30 Success students that I was going to send them all a copy of the book. And they were like, thank you. However, I didn't want to send them like a PDF version or a Kindle. I wanted to give them a proper, hard, nice copy, signed, perfect.
Yeah.
I ordered some copies. They came, but the text wasn't justified properly. It was you that pointed it out.
Right.
So I reordered the books, but they were going to take a couple of weeks. And I just thought, all my students are going to be saying, where's my book at?
Yeah.
So I did a YouTube video just for the 30 people where I was just saying, hey guys, the book's gonna be a little late, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Did it, and I thought I'd just send it to them all. But for some reason, there was a blockage where I couldn't send everybody the video. I don't know what it was.
Why?
I think it's because some of them I was talking to on WhatsApp, some on Facebook, some on Instagram. I wanted it to come personally from me, and I just couldn't. I don't know, it wasn't because I didn't want to do it. I think I just couldn't bring myself to finding the time and messing around and finding their names, and I was just like, oh, and I kept putting it off and putting it off.
Yeah.
So I do suffer sometimes with procrastination.
Wow.
I did it in the end, I did it this morning.
Oh, well done.
I was just like, you know what, and you know what?
Just do it.
It took me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought I've been putting this off for 2 days. Even though it's just an easy, simple job, but it's like a black cloud, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's just like a bit of a,
I need to do that thing.
I need to do that thing.
Yeah.
So that thing that you're procrastinating, learn from me, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Okay, next question. Would employing a private driver be worth it for you? While they drive you, you can sit in the back and be more focused on the business via phone calls, emails, and other work tasks over the internet.
That's very interesting. I think you could benefit from a driver, and I've said this before.
I just love driving.
Samuel loves driving, but I do feel like you'd be really, really productive if you were
the
sat
thing
in the
is,
back.
I don't want to, because if I'm sat in the back on my phone, I'll get car sick.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, I guess.
If I'm driving, it's beautiful, peaceful thinking time. Massage, with the chairs massage me. Although my massage chair just broke. So we ordered a new massager from inside the car, but I love driving. I did have a driver when I got banned.
Yeah.
I had a driver, Brian. Drove me around for 6 months. It was nice, I love Brian, but I don't know. I just like driving.
I think at some point.
Here's what my dream would be.
Yeah.
My dream would be to have a car that had such a big back entry or a caravan attached onto it where I could just lie down.
A caravan? But then how would you drive?
I'd have a driver.
Oh right, okay. So you'd want to.
I'd have a driver, but as long as I could literally not just be able to lie down. People go, oh, put your seat back. No. It's not the same. I'd like to have like a proper bed where I could lie down.
Well, that sounds like a tour bus type situation.
There we go. Yeah.
But when would you need a tour bus or something?
No, I mean if I was just like
not
tonight.
Day to day.
No, but tonight I'm going to, where am I going tonight? Leeds.
Right.
It's like a 4-hour journey. I've got a coaching call tonight at 8 and I'm thinking, oh man.
Oh, you would
am I going to I'd just go, well I'll just leave at 10 p.m. I'll lie down, relax, get some work done, have a little snooze.
Nice. That would be nice.
Get there at, I don't know, 2 in the morning and just go straight to my hotel.
Oh, okay.
That's my dream.
Oh, I can make that happen for
Really?
a bit. Yeah.
Okay, that is my dream. Alright, next. I love, we've had that one. Okay, next. Oh, okay, here we go. Hi Amanda and Samuel, I hope you're both doing well. I have a question for you both. How do you grow your positivity and be more positive in life? Do you ever experience depression in any points of your life and career whilst chasing your goals, and how did you get out of that depressed mood?
Who asked that question, by the way?
Yen2.
Yen2.
Yeah.
Oh, Yen2. Okay, so it's an interesting question because I think naturally I'm just a positive person. I'm very optimistic and I always focus on the positive naturally. So my tip for how to stay positive is just to focus on the good.
Yeah.
Simply that, focus on the good. So even when things are going bad, just focus on what's good in that situation, because I think in any situation, and you know, bad things can happen, but what's good, you know, if you feel like you're really challenged, usually from that challenge you're going to grow and learn from it. So I'd focus on that and not the actual problem at hand.
I agree.
You know,
I agree. I mean, I've never had depression. I've never suffered with depression. I don't think you have either.
No.
However, I mean, you ask about have you ever been in a depressed mood. I mean, I think that's probably a very different thing. I think being in a bad mood. Have I been in a bad mood? Yes. I mean, I'm in a bad mood right now because I need a haircut. Damn, I need a haircut bad. Amanda's, the good thing about lockdown is you have learned to cut my hair though.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's funny because you used to cut my hair through lockdown. It was great, but now we're technically out of lockdown a bit. I think hairdressers are open.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking, hairdressers are open. But I don't want to go to the hairdresser because I'm not, I just know they're gonna be awkward.
Yeah, I know.
Social distance, wear a mask, da da da. So even though they're open, I can't really be bothered with all the red tape. So I'm kind of, now I'm just doing nothing and now suffering with flat long hair. So I think I'm either just gonna have to make the decision, am I gonna go? I don't think I'm gonna go. Would you cut my hair after this?
I'll cut your hair.
Boom. So she's gonna cut my hair and she's gonna get me a caravan on the back of a driver's car. You heard it, you heard it. Last time I can remember being in a really bad mood was actually quite recently. Do you remember?
No, go on.
I cried.
Oh my gosh, okay.
I didn't actually cry. Well.
Okay, he did have tears, okay.
No.
So, Samuel.
Get out, that was nothing to do with the actual...
Yeah, right.
Are you joking?
I actually genuinely think you were just quite emotional about
Oh, come on.
Okay, so Samuel...
That's ridiculous.
Okay. Samuel wears a belt with his trousers or his jeans or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
You have to, otherwise your trousers fall down,
okay,
right? It's not like a choice.
He
have to wear a belt to go out.
Okay, but he frequently loses his belts, okay, and then asks me where the belt is. I'm like, I don't know, it's your belt. I don't know where you put it.
Yeah.
So the other day, over the weekend, he was like, oh, where's my belt? Where's my belt? I'm like, I don't know. I helped him look, couldn't find his belts anyway. He has a few belts, he has 3 belts at least that I know of. Couldn't find any of these 3 belts anywhere around the house. So you weren't happy, were you?
I was so annoyed because I was annoyed, not with Amanda, I was annoyed with the situation because,
you were annoyed with the
because I often can't find a belt and I'm like, I have 3 belts, I can't find any of them. Not in the car, not in the house. And I must have been like 10 minutes looking for a belt and I just thought, what a waste of time. And I wouldn't have been so annoyed, but it happens regularly. And I said to Amanda, I'm gonna spend like an hour a month looking for a belt. What a ridiculous waste of time.
Yeah.
So I said to Amanda, I'm not happy and I want 10 belts. 10 belts, she said, 10 belts. I want 10 belts. And when I lose a couple belts, I want you to just order me an extra couple belts. So I'm never in this horrible situation. I went crying. We then got in the car and then I had hay fever and my eyes got a bit watery and there was aircon. There was aircon. Like, when the aircon was whacking your face and it was like the hay fever and the aircon together did make me teary-eyed. But it had nothing to do with the belts.
Okay. Anyway, he's now got 10 belts.
Yes, you did order me 10 belts. Yeah. They're really nice. I'm wearing one right now. So yeah, I'm wearing one right now.
So that's the last time you're in a bad mood.
Yeah, so to answer your question, have I ever been depressed? No. But do I ever get in a bad mood? Yes. What do you do about it? Have a rant. have a beautiful partner who can listen to your rant.
I was gracious, I just listened to it.
Be gracious and then order you 10 belts. But same story, if Amanda's in a bad mood, I'm gracious to Amanda. That doesn't happen very often. If I'm in a bad mood, because again, a lot of couples slip into the marriage advice right now. What happens is things escalate, right? Imagine if I'd have been like, why haven't I got a belt? And Amanda would have gone, whoa, you lost it, what am I? It would have made me probably, hang on, but, and then we start having a big argument. Whereas our rule is, if one person's unreasonable or irritable or whatever, be gracious, love them through it, fix the problem, and then if they were really bad, you can always bring it up the following day in the cold light of day when they're not in a bad mood and just say, hey look man, you know yesterday, that whole belt thing, yeah, you were a dick. You know? You know, I mean, that's unreasonable. What are we? Let's talk about it. It doesn't really happen very often, but that's the thing to do. Not in the heat of the moment. Wait until you've got 10 belts before you have the conversation, and that's my top marriage advice. But that's from me, Amanda.
What top marriage advice?
Final words of wisdom.
Final words.
Or top marriage advice, whatever.
Okay, actually, I just did an Instagram post, so I can say which had some words of wisdom. It was a quote that said, worry never takes away tomorrow's troubles, it takes away today's peace. Which I thought was quite profound and good, because worrying is just like such a waste of time. Like, it's never solved any problems.
That's true.
And it is true, it takes away today's peace, so that's my final words of wisdom. Don't worry about anything.
Where's my plastic on there?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I wondered what you were doing.
I was just trying to find out where my plaster's gone, but...
It probably fell off when you were in the shower.
Maybe. That's great advice though. Don't worry about
little things. And also, I mean, because I'm a Christian, there's a verse in the Bible that says, don't worry about anything, pray about everything. And so if you're a Christian, I'd say that's what I'd advise, because you know, you get a sense of peace, even though, like, if you pray, it might not solve a situation like that, but you have that sense of peace.
Yeah, and one of the things, you know, talking of prayer, people are thinking, what do you mean pray about everything? You know, one of the things I do often when I pray is I actually just thank God for my blessings. And whether you're a Christian or not a Christian, you can still be thankful and grateful and just spend some time to have some gratitude for the good things you've got in life. Because what you focus on expands. So if you focus on the problem, if you're in debt and you're like thinking about the debt, don't focus on the debt. Be grateful for what you've got and focus on the solution, you know. So great stuff, great advice. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Subscribe, put your comments below if you've got questions, comments for me or Amanda. And we look forward to seeing you next time on the Samuel and Amanda Show. Money, marriage and life.
Bye.
See you next time.